No. They're trying to fix a couple of issues at the Pies, Caro, and one of them is just what is going to happen with their board. A little hard and a little messy what's going on with their board, I think it's fair to say, given that they're looking for their next coach. And Tony Shaw, former legend of the club, of course, had some pretty strong words on 3AW after the Pies loss yesterday.
I tell you what, I hope Graham Wright's sitting in the coach's box today, because to kick 1 goal to half-time of football, it's just not good enough as a whole organisation. They've got to get something done here, make some decisions about what they want from the rest of the year. We know there's going to be a board challenge. We need this quicker now. We need to get settled so we can then get to the draft.
So what's going to happen for it to be quicker? What do you want?
I think it could be 21 days if you had that EGM, whatever it is, if you get the numbers. So it's got to happen. This can't go to the end of the year with this rabble the way it's going.
So we've now got Peter Moore, Craig Kelly, Tony Shaw, a premiership captain, and Norm Smith medalist. I think I think I heard him say almost backing change, or at least some form of challenge to the board.
Well, I think he wants clarity, is what he said. So if Mark Cord is going to continue as president, then it needs to be stated now once and for all.
It is
I agree
21
with
days with the EGM, but then it's 60 days before they have to hold the EGM. They're still waiting on this Friday. I think the signatures will finally, the challengers will finally get a look at those signatures and whether they are able to call an EGM. I think that'll happen. I think Francis Galbally is handling that. But, really and truly, when you've got so many favourite sons, so many influential favourite sons turning on the club, and a board that I continue to say, Sam, is not united.
But can Jeff Brown get a respected board? That's going to be a challenge for him.
It is. Absolutely it is. And is there going to be a third party?
Caro, I know you mentioned Mark Williams and the link there with Collingwood, but I think yesterday may have been a significant endorsement for another potential candidate. That's Don Pyke. Here's John Longmire speaking about the influence that he's had at Sydney.
The last 4 or 5 games last year, we got to a point where we thought we were starting to evolve pretty well. Pikey's come in and been a great help for us this year over the summer, which has helped us again, and we need to keep moving in that aspect.
They're an amazing football club. They've been so good and so good to watch. They're 4 goals better this year, the Sydney Swans, than what they were last year. And
You're putting a lot of that down to Pyke?
Well, I am, absolutely. Yep. And that's what a lot of people are saying with the offensive method that he has brought in. So Collingwood are strong defensively. I don't think it's a disaster there. If they can learn to have some fluency about the way that they move their ball, and Lordo, we've spoken about that. So I think game plan-wise, Don Pyke is perfect for them, but it's just whether he, on the back of the way it ended, and we heard from him last week on the show, and how disgruntled he was with the media, is he willing to put his hand up publicly to take that job? But game plan-wise, I think he's perfectly suited.
Lloydie, what do you think Robert Harvey needs to do between now and the end of the season?
Well, I think Collingwood are becoming unwatchable and are becoming one of the most boring sides in the game to watch. And I think often there's a rise for a new interim coach. They get a spike. There's been nothing. They seem pretty much a mirror image of what Nathan Buckley was playing, and although Buckley beat Melbourne and Adelaide in the last 2 of his last 3 games. So this is what I'd look at. Flair players to express themselves. You've got 7 games. Try and see what you can do for the next coach that's coming in at Collingwood. Yep. Try and enhance your own reputation. So I look at players like De Goey, Pendlebury, Sidebottom, Elliott, Crisp, Dacos, Quaynor, Maynard, Hoskin, Elliott. They're all Flair players that aren't playing with Flair. So that's point 1. I'd release the handbrake and stop playing safe. So here's some vision again of Robert Harvey's team on the weekend, playing with no flair whatsoever. So this is doing the heads in of Collingwood supporters and Collingwood people playing this way. Where are they going? That's why Peter Moore, Darcy's father, said, if you can kick 5 goals, it'd be a fluke playing for Collingwood. So this is what they did on the weekend. So you kick 3 goals in 3 quarters, and then you kicked 5 goals in the last when the game was lost. So this is how they played for 3 quarters, and then this is how they played when they had to try and win the game. That they take the game on through the corridor.
So do this from the start.
Do this from the start. Give up a little bit in defence. And I'm telling you, his players would love him for it. They are crying out to play like this, but they're not actually allowed to play it from the start. So that's point 2. Stimulate the players with roles. So I'd be saying, Sidebottom, move him to a Heppel role to see if you can salvage his career late.
Yep.
Grundy and Cameron 50-50 ruck forward. Quaynor, give him a go through the midfield. Put Dacos back to where he plays his best on the wing, and De Goey and Elliott play like Jake Stringer midfield forward. Point 4, I'd stimulate the players with challenges. So I'd say, Maynard, you are going on the hunt to Dustin Martin this week. You can hunt him, go after him. The other players will love it. And Quaynor, go and see what you can do to Shea Bolton. I reckon you're better than Shea Bolton than you can be. Go and show it to us on the weekend. And the last point, motivate this group and say, boys, let's go and end the Tigers season. The Saints and the Suns have shown you what you can do. Go and end their season. I think Robert Harvey needs to stimulate this group more so than he has the last couple of weeks.
Fired up.
Yep, it's a great 5-point plan. I just wonder if what's gone a little under the radar is Collingwood's admission, Caro, a few weeks ago that they've still got these lingering salary cap issues. This is Graham Wright on Breakfast Radio not long ago.
There's still, I suppose, a hangover in relation to salary cap. We've still got some issues we're dealing with there, but I mean, they're not insurmountable at all.
Well, we heard that there wasn't a hangover, but clearly, and the gentleman who sits there on a Wednesday night might not agree, but it was a stuff-up. Fascinating you talk about that Richmond-Collingwood game. It's on Sunday this week at the MCG at 4:10. How the mighty have fallen. A prediction of rain in about 14 degrees. I'm told that the crowd will be capped at 30,000, not 50,000 is what we're hearing.
So from 25 to 30.
Yep, they were hoping for 50, but...
I don't think they would have got 50 anyway, Caro, at any of these games.
It's almost saved them a massive embarrassment.
That's right. And
this is part of a round 17 fixture that's just come out in the last few hours.